Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope everyone's having a good Thursday. Welcome to Under the Hood, Ask a Pro. My name is Tony. Well, we're live here every Thursday to answer your automotive questions and talk about car-related products. So if you have any questions, comment them below here at the end of the video. I'll get to them. And of course, if you're not watching this live, feel free to still comment and I'll get back with you or even talk about it next week on our future live. And so today what we're going to be talking about are headlight bulbs. And it sounds simple, but there's so many different headlight styles out on cars today. And also, oh, hey, where you guys going? So many different upgrades that you can probably do yourself to get better vision. So to start with, what bulbs we typically have today are halogen bulbs. And that's all that it is. So we have an element, and so we supply a power and ground, then we have a gas inside of the tube. And what happens is we heat it up and it glows, and when it gets hot it interacts with the gas, then all of a sudden it projects a light, and that's how it gives us our high beams and low beams. Now, in this particular bulb, what you don't want to do, if you notice how I'm handling it, I'm only touching down here. You don't want to touch the glass. And the reason for that is the oils from your skin can get on the bulb, and when that bulb heats up and puts out a lot of heat, it won't heat up correctly on that glass, and actually a bubble will form and can burst. So it'll actually shorten the life of the bulb. So you could have a headlight bulb out and you go in to replace it and you touch it and you put it in, it doesn't last. And the reason is you haven't handled it properly. Another thing with handling, if you see on this one, we have a seal. So you want to be sure that seal, of course when you take the old one out, that the seal stays on the bulb. And if you put a new one in, that the seal's on there. And that prevents the moisture from coming inside of the headlamp itself and causing water dripping down and moisture. And what happens on these bulbs, on the halogen, and of course we've actually upgraded since then, is in between on the filaments is actually tungsten. And when it gets real hot, it creates a vapor and it mixes with the halogen and actually recycles back onto that element. So that's why these last a whole lot longer than the lights previous to it, and the glass whole seal beam lights. And so we have that style. Then next we started going, if you ever heard it, our HID bulbs. And it's very similar to the other bulb, and that is you do not want to touch the glass on this one. One reason is these are very, very, very expensive. By that I mean an aftermarket bulb will cost you about $150. So they're super expensive. What makes these unique is they don't have an element or a little curly thing. So we don't heat a wire, the wire interacts with the gas, and all of a sudden you have a light. It's kind of like a bar sign, like a neon light. So there's a gas inside of it, then we charge the gas, and all of a sudden we have a light. So we have a brighter, clearer light bulb. These don't use battery voltage. So in a regular car, we have 12 volts or battery voltage that runs these. We have more. So you actually have a separate module to power these on to get more voltage, to get a brighter light and a clearer light. That's called the ballast. They're typically inside of the headlamp assembly, sometimes mounted on the side. So if you are messing with these, you want to be sure you're using the proper safety. That would be disconnect the battery, make sure the key's off, disconnect the battery, and then go in and move and replace the bulb, disconnect the ballast. Always follow the procedure because they can hurt you. They don't carry a lot of amps, so I don't know if it'll kill you, but it will shock you really bad. So be very careful when you're messing with these. Aftermarket, so say you have a newer car that has the HID bulbs. One goes out, you replace it with a cheaper aftermarket, you may notice a difference in the light. One may be a little bit bluer or redder or have a different haze to it than the factory one. So a lot of times when we have one go out on one of our customers' cars, we like to go factory if we can afford to replace both. Like I said, these are super expensive. Even to get to them, it can be a whole lot of labor involved also. Since the bulb is actually brighter, so it's casting a larger beam, what you need is special headlamps. And if you see in this one, the headlamp, we call that a projector. and that's going to help cast the beam itself. So the headlights are also involved with these, and a lot of times you'll see the ballast, they'll actually mount to the backside of these headlamps assemblies. If you have to replace the ballast and a bulb, you're talking probably somewhere $800–900 for one side, so they're super expensive. Another thing we're seeing now, just because the technology is getting better and the price is going down, are LED bulbs. This is an aftermarket LED bulb, and so this one has 3 LEDs. And the good thing about LEDs is it doesn't take a whole lot of voltage. So it's not the same voltage where we have thousands of volts. All we have to do is cross over the diode. So what we'll have here, and and you see a bunch of heat sinks, so it's helped to dissipate the heat in a little fan to keep it cold. This is actually the driver. So this is going to help cross the voltage over the diode. The good thing about these is this is just an Amazon aftermarket one. It's the same as a factory. So all you do is bolt it in, twist it in, and it plugs into your factory harness. So this is a good upgrade. If you're having trouble seeing at night, your headlamp lenses are clean or clear, you don't have oxidation or any moisture on the inside, you can pick some of these up off Amazon pretty cheap. There are companies that sell better products. So of course, with anything, the more money you spend on a product, you're probably getting a better quality. This one's a little bit cheaper, but it is better than factory. So if you don't want a super bright light, or you don't want to spend $80 to $90, there's some $20, $30 kits that plug in. There's also aftermarket kits that make it go HID. I wouldn't recommend them. Back when we first started getting HIDs and you could see the aftermarket kits, a lot of people were installing them because they didn't have a cheaper alternative. The issue with the aftermarket HID is you put it in your lenses, then you have to have something to create the voltage. So now you have to not only do that, you have to wire in some other components. So you have a wiring mesh, you're tearing up a factory harness to make it have HID. The bulbs are super expensive, so I wouldn't recommend using those. Now with technology, with the LEDs, those are probably going to get phased out anyways. As far as brightness, they're coming close. I say probably in another year they'll probably be brighter as far as lumens, but as far as in town driving and in the city, it'll be enough for you. And actually on this truck here, I'll show you how we can install one. See if I can get a good view down in here. So the camera's just gonna have to be a little crooked there. I've actually pulled this one off. There we go. So just like factory, so we're gonna have a little spring lock in here that holds the bulb into place. So the bulb goes in. Should have practiced this, I guess, before we started here. It only goes in one way, if we can figure out which one way that is. Yeah, like that. Then locks into place. And the good thing is, it actually holds in to the factory harness. So now all we got to do is plug in to go factory harness. Like I said, there's different kits for different situations. If you are going aftermarket, definitely I would look into the LEDs just because of the price, and spend a little extra money. Do your research on the companies. Like I said, we installed some from a customer. I can't remember what company it was. I remember looking it up on their website, and they're about $80, and it was a really nice kit. And just make sure you do your research. If you have a HID bulb, I would not recommend doing it yourself. You know, there's always the chance of being shocked. They're very expensive. Nothing's worse or sickening than buy, you know, a $150 bulb. All of a sudden you touch it or you drop it. Now you're back doing the same thing again. So, and if anyone has any questions at this point, I'm going to go ahead and ask them. Hey Marcy, how's it going? Thank you for watching. Philip, what is the best way to clean the yellow off lenses of the headlights? There's a couple ways we can do it. If you've seen my other posts, I actually did a live where I tried a couple things, and I think I still have one of them over here because I have yet to find another use for this at the shop yet, and that's the toothpaste. Of course, we recommend doing a headlamp service where we actually sand it down, polish it, and reseal it. This worked. So depending on how bad your headlights are yellowed, you can try this also. I guess we do have a new website coming. We've been working on it for months now. I think we're very, very close to having it live for us. So keep up with our Facebook. We'll be posting, let you know when things go live. So be sure if you have any comments and you're not watching this live, comment them. If you have any things you'd like to talk about next week, let me know. We finally have the garage doors open. We got a new roof on the building, so it's been loud and it's been raining just stuff from the ceiling all week. So it's finally quiet in here this week. So thanks everybody for watching, and drive safe. Bye.